Do you remember when you could party all night, wake up early, and still go to the gym and crush your workout? Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. Alcohol just does not sit the same way that it used to anymore. As for me and for a lot of other people I know as well who are in their 30s. Hey guys, and welcome to It's Pretty Simple. I'm your host, Nikita Kohli, and It's Pretty Simple is a podcast where we break down fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle in a way that actually makes sense. No fluff, no gimmicks, just practical advice that can help you feel stronger, energized, and confident in your body. So I'm here basically to try and make your fitness journey a little bit more simple. Each episode, we dive into topics that matter, from training smarter, PCOS, menopause, to making sustainable food choices and just navigating fitness at different stages of your life. So whether you're here to improve your performance or you want to build strength or just feel a little bit better in your daily routine, you are in the right place. So let's dive into today's topic. We are going to be talking about how fitness evolves in your 30s. So if you are in your 30s and you're starting to notice that your body does not quite bounce back the way that it used to, well, trust me, you are not alone. I have been experiencing this the past 5 years. I'm 35, going on 36, and my clients are also in their 30s, early 40s. So you're definitely not alone with the shifts that you're feeling, if you are feeling any. So today we're going to talk about what shifts actually happen, what becomes more important, and how we can adapt without actually feeling like you are falling apart or nothing is changing. So before we get into it, I want to share a little bit about my own experience. So fitness has been a huge part of my life since I was in my 20s. But once I hit my 30s, I did feel things change. Recovery is not as instant. My sleep has really become a non-negotiable. I feel like my social life has gone down because my sleep has become super important. And my goals, they have completely changed from what they were in my 20s for sure. These days, instead of chasing the aesthetics, I focus on performance, feeling good, having energy, and just staying strong. So for the longevity of it. And of course, taking all the precautions that I need to now because, 10, 12 years down the line, I will be going into perimenopause. So the sooner you start, the better it is. I actually have an episode on both perimenopause and menopause. So if you are somewhere there or you want to learn about it at an earlier phase of life, make sure to check those out. All right, so let's break down the 5 biggest ways that fitness changes in your 30s and how you can navigate them. So this is from my personal experience as I've come into my 30s, as well as my clients that I've learned from for the past 13 years of being in this industry. So number 1, your goals evolve. So in your 20s, it was probably all about aesthetics, chasing the abs, hitting your PRs, and trying to look a certain way. I know it was like that for me as well. But in your 30s, the focus does shift. So for me right now, it's running pain-free. I've got clients who just want to train pain-free, who have knee pain or back pain. It's lifting with good form, and it's not waking up feeling absolutely wrecked from my workout the day before. I've had so many clients tell me the same thing. So energy, strength, and longevity is what matters more now than ever. Fitness isn't just about looking good anymore. It's about making sure that you feel good as well. And honestly, the aesthetics kind of comes as a byproduct. To be completely honest, if you're doing everything right, you will still get the aesthetics that you want. So a part of this shift comes from what's actually happening inside our bodies. So we have hormonal changes. They are less in our 30s. The changes increase in our 40s and 50s, but they still happen. As we start to cross into our 30s, although the hormonal changes are very slight, our estrogen levels do start to lower slightly, and it affects how efficiently we can build and maintain muscles. So that's why strength training becomes absolutely crucial. It's not just for the looks and the aesthetics, but it becomes important for keeping your metabolism steady and preventing muscle loss, which then leads to lower bone density and bone loss. And it goes on and on, going down into a downward spiral. Number 2, recovery really becomes a priority. These days, if I do not prioritize my recovery, I can feel it for days. And that's one of the reasons I've started to book a deep tissue massage twice a month. It makes sure that my muscles are feeling good and not like cement. And it also helps me prevent injuries before they even start. Another thing that's also super important at this phase is doing your mobility work. Like, it's not just something you do if you have time. It is something that you need to be doing every single day. Foam rolling, stretching, warming up properly, they're not optional. They are something that needs to be done. And finally, with your recovery, do you remember when you could party all night, wake up early, and still go to the gym and crush your workout? Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. Alcohol just does not sit the same way that it used to anymore. As for me and for a lot of other people I know as well who are in their 30s, like I could do vodka shots, sambuca shots, Jaeger shots, and then go for cocktails, and then go for wine, and then go for beers when I was in my 20s and still function, maybe get 3 hours of sleep, go to class the next day, go to work the next day. But nowadays, 3 beers and I'm super sluggish the next day. And it's not a hangover, it's just fatigue, just being tired. Alcohol just doesn't sit the same way that it used to. It messes with hydration, it messes with sleep, and it messes with recovery way more than I ever realized. Because in my 20s, I didn't feel any of the effects except for like a bad headache. So I've realized I have to be more mindful about when and how much I drink. So what's the reason for the shift? So our muscles don't repair as quickly as they used to. So your collagen production slows down, your recovery process takes longer, and that's why prioritizing sleep, hydration, and active recovery is more important now than ever. And in terms of the alcohol, when we do drink, our body is working hard to try and eliminate the toxins. And so it slows down your muscle repair. So if you're somebody who's training quite a bit, like I train quite a bit, and when I go to sleep at night after a night out of drinking, I know that my body's fighting to clean out the toxin and it's not gotten to, recovering my muscles yet. It's feeling so lethargic and tired. And, your quality of sleep anyway goes to shits if you've had even a few drinks at night. You're not getting the deep sleep, you're not getting the REM sleep. So all these things play a factor. So you'll notice if you're somebody who already leads a healthy lifestyle, that the recovery from drinking feels a lot harder, even if you barely drank, comparison to your friends who maybe don't train as much as you do, who don't lead very healthy lifestyle. Like people who are training regularly, eating super healthy, when they have a drink in comparison to people who have been drinking the same way since they were 20, like they don't feel the effects as much as we do. So this point is not a fact. I don't know if there's any like scientific reason behind it, but at least what I've seen from the people in my life, people who are leading healthy lives now, training every single day, watching what they're putting in their mouth, versus people who are not doing that, who barely move, but they go out and party like they were in their 20s. The way that we feel the next day is completely different. They feel fine, and like I don't. It's just an observation that I've seen. All right, number 3. Fueling your body becomes essential, and how you fuel your body also becomes very, very essential. So what you eat starts to matter a lot more than it did in your 20s. Gone are those days of just grabbing whatever is quick and convenient. Now you actually have to focus on nutrient-dense foods that can fuel your workouts and keep your energies up. Fiber is a big game changer. Lots of veggies, whole grains, and legumes. They're going to help with digestion and making sure that you have sustained energy. So whereas before you could probably get away with eating crap all day and maybe having one good meal and still feeling all right, nowadays, not so much. I've also started paying attention to gut-friendly foods. So like things like kefir. I don't actually do kefir. It's just an example. I just don't like it. But I have started pickling my own radishes. So like any fermented vegetables are really good. I like the pickled radish that I did. Hope I did it right. Anyway, so that I've been doing that, but I do have a lot of yogurts as well. And of course, having healthy fats, adding in avocado, nuts, olive oil, they are great sources of good fats, and they're a big part of my diet because I do live in Spain and it's very easily accessible. But they do help me keep everything in balance and keep my body feeling good. So another thing to keep in mind with the nutrition is that as we age, as we go into our 30s and then into our 40s and then into our 50s, our metabolism does naturally slow down. Now, not that much, okay? Because it's very easy to say, it's my metabolism. But we can actually kind of stop that from happening, or we can slow down the process. So the less muscle mass that you have, the slower your metabolism is going to be, because the more muscle mass that you have, the more you're going to burn at rest. So for me, my metabolic age is 20, according to the tests that I have done. I don't know how accurate those are, but that's because I have pretty decent amount of muscle in my body. So if you're somebody who prioritizes your protein, who strength trains, you're probably not going to have that much of a slowdown in your metabolism, or maybe not at all in your 30s at all. But if you are somebody who's just coming into fitness and you're, trying to navigate your way, you need to keep in mind that if you have a low amount of muscle, that your metabolism is going to slow down. So it's correlated. Muscle and metabolism go hand in hand together. So protein plays a big role, which means that the way you eat plays a bigger role in your energy levels and your body composition as well. And body composition becomes super important as we get older. So you want to think more protein, more fiber, lots of nutrient-dense meals, and they're going to make a big difference with how you feel day to day with your energy as well. So also because of the muscle and the metabolism and everything, you need to realize that you cannot do extreme dieting. You need to have balance. You need to have sustainable habits when it comes to your food. It's got to support your training. It's got to support your recovery. And it's got to support your overall well-being without any restrictions or any over-restricting. Because if you're going to extreme dieting and you're going into all these fad diets and all these detoxes, you are going to start to lose muscle. And at this point, we want to try and keep as much muscle as we have, and we want to try and build as much muscle as we can. So if you are going to go and do a detox, or you're going to go into a fad diet, then you're actually going to do more damage than good, because you're going to lose something very important that you already have. So if that's something you're thinking about for quick weight loss, if you are already in your 30s, or if you're listening to this and you're in your 40s, please don't do that, because it's just going to backfire. Number 4, mobility. It is a non-negotiable. It's not just for injury prevention. It's what's going to keep you moving well for years to come. Like those creaks in your knees and the creaks in your shoulders and the clicks, like your joints are just talking back to you. Mobility is a must, because these sounds are going to get louder as we get older. So it's best to make sure that we're taking care of this now. Don't brush off your stretching. Like I used to brush off my stretching sometimes, like, okay, I'm in a hurry, get it done with and go. But I realize how important it is, and it's really what keeps me from feeling stiff and sore all the time. Just 10 minutes of mobility work will make a massive difference in how you're moving, how you're feeling, whether you're doing dynamic warm-ups, foam rolling. It's good, but it's not the only thing you should be doing. Try to do some yoga. Just take care of mobility. And, you can just go on YouTube now and find a bunch of mobility routines for different things. I do a lot for my hips because my hips are quite tight. My knees as well click a little bit. So I've really been trying to focus on that. And that's something that's very important, because our joint health starts to decline. Cartilage naturally wears down over time, and years of training, they add up and they start to show. So investing in proper warm-ups, doing proper mobility drills, and even making sure that you're seeing a physio before any issues arise is going to make a difference. Don't wait till something is wrong to go and see a physio. It's really, really good if you go and see a physio like every 3 months or something, just to make sure everything is in check. I learned that the hard way. I used to not really do very much in terms of going to the physio. I was doing mobility and everything, but physio, not so much. And then when the aches and pains and I can't do this and this started, I started going, and I realized like it's something that I need to do regularly, even if I'm not feeling any pain. So every 3 months is good. At least that's what I do. And I think it's been working pretty well for me. And number 5, strength training is a must. Lifting weights is not just about looking good. You need it to stay strong in the long haul. You need it to keep your metabolism up. You need it to keep your bones strong. And no, ladies, you're not going to get bulky from lifting weights. So our muscle naturally starts declining in your 30s, and that decline speeds up in your 40s and then your 50s. So that's why strength training is so important. We want to prevent injuries. We want to make sure that we're healthy and strong for the long term. Like I said, it's not going to make you bulky. And no, you do not need to be lifting the heaviest weight in the gym. You just got to be able to lift to a point where you're challenging yourself. And you need to have functional strengths, to be able to carry groceries, keeping up with daily activities, playing with your kids, when you get older, playing with your grandkids, getting off the couch when you're older, things like that. And of course, avoiding injuries as you age. So resistance training is the best way to stay strong and capable. So there you have it, the 5 biggest ways that fitness changes in your 30s. This is from my experience, as well as working with clients in their 30s and their 40s. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you noticed any of these shifts in your own fitness journey? Maybe there's something that I didn't mention that's been a game changer for you and that's really helped. If it has, send me a message or drop a comment below. I would really appreciate that. And as always, guys, if you found this episode helpful, please don't forget to hit subscribe or follow. It'd be great if you could leave a review or share it with a friend who might need to hear this, who's been reluctant to go to the gym. So to wrap it up, fitness in your 30s isn't about doing more. It's about doing things smarter. So you want to be listening to your body. You want to be making sustainable choices and training in the way that works for you best in the long term. Making sure you're getting your protein and doing your strength training. Thank you guys for tuning into this week's episode of It's Pretty Simple. I will speak to you guys next week. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. Just stay consistent and do your best. I'll see you guys next week.